I'm Vanessa Cabanillas. I work for Justiça Ambiental since 2010, but I'm also one of the founder members. And we founded JA in 2004 as a group of friends and family who were concerned with the environmental issues in Mozambique, but also the social injustices that were deriving from those environmental issues and from the many challenges our country is facing. A big part of our work is made with a very, very direct relationship, and we build relationships with communities. In many cases, we are invited because there's already a problem, there's already an issue, be it environmental issue or even a social injustice issue, like resettlements that were not well done, or compensations, or people that are losing their land. Because around 80% of the Mozambicans depend directly on their land, and they are mostly small-scale farmers. So this is a very big issue. We very soon realized that it's impossible to talk about conservation or protecting any species or ecosystem if you don't look at the social issues. People depend directly on these resources. So, and it's very complicated for us to lead these struggles because the communities are the most affected. Their voices must be heard before anything else. We do believe that with given the right information, the full information, they are able to decide upon themselves what they want, what sort of development they want, what changes they want in their communities. And although we do support every struggle, their struggles, we need to understand it's their struggle first, and then it's a national struggle, and we can get involved. We don't see our government defending any rights at all. We see the same struggle we have with the corporations, for instance, for access to information, for complaints that we put in. That go the first time to the community to present a project, and they are the ones who sell the project to the communities. And by selling, I'm saying there's a lot of promises around these projects, any project that comes into Mozambique. And normally these promises are all related to responsibilities of the government, such as schooling, hospitals, roads. These are state responsibilities. These are not responsibilities of the corporation. But that's how they gain the acceptance of the communities, because the vulnerabilities are so many. Total is one example, and probably the most horrible one in the recent years. But it's just one example of how Europe also does not want to look at the evidence, because Green Resources, a plantation company, is also a Norwegian company, and they've had numerous reports of the abuses, of the land grab, of community complaints, and they did nothing. So it's also a relationship of interests. So it's Europe's, in this case France, interest to keep Total working here. So they will put a blind eye to these issues unless they are here on the ground. And still, they will always find a way to say this is not a result of Total's work, or this is not a direct result of our company, hiding away from the responsibility. I'm proud of all our struggles, actually, because I do believe even where we didn't have success, it didn't mean we didn't give all of ourselves to that struggle. And most of the cases, there's no visible success or short-term success. I think there are many moments in a campaign, in a fight, that we feel like that. Okay, this is not working. We're not gaining any space. We're not reaching anything. But these are very quickly dissipated, because I wouldn't say it like this probably if it was in Portuguese, but we are very stubborn. And we do believe that we cannot give up. I mean, most people in most of these projects, in most of the fights we are in for 10, 12, 15, even 20 years, if we give up, no one will fight with them. So it's not for us. Giving up is not a choice. We will continue. until the community says we don't want to fight anymore or we don't want you here anymore. And even then, there are environmental issues that will continue.